guys, welcome back to another video, and today's gonna be our deck guide for you guys. Last deck guide we did aliens, and now this deck guide we're gonna be doing Battlewasp. I did a poll yesterday, and Battlewasp is one of the choices. And at the start of the morning, or like earlier today, like before I recorded, I saw that the thing was tied between this and Reptilian. But then, like right before I started recording, Battlewasp got into the lead. So I'm like, well, might as well do Battlewasp first. So don't worry for anyone who also voted for Reptilian. I will be also doing a deck guide for Reptilian later in the week, just because of the fact of these two decks were neck and neck the entire time, which was pretty interesting to watch. So, but yeah, we're gonna be talking about Battlewasp today. If you guys don't know what my deck guides are, pretty much with these, they're kind of like beginner's guides to certain decks. If you guys are new to a deck, or just starting out with one, with a specific deck. Pretty much in this video, I'll be going over the staples for the deck, the tech cards you can put in, and specific engines if there are any, and then just go over quickly what extra cards you'll need for the deck. Like they can just go into the deck perfectly. So. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. So Battlewasps are a new deck out of Battles of Legend, Hero's Revenge. Pretty much all their support is in that set. And yeah, it's a pretty cool synchro deck that relies on insects. We haven't seen insects get a new archetype in a while, so it's very refreshing to see them get a new archetype. And the cool thing about these guys is that they can do kind of like effect damage. They're like pretty much with them, our synchros can do like effect damage to your opponent, to whittle down their life to the point where you can easily kill them quicker, which I think is really nice. And also they can synchro climb very easily, which is a really cool aspect of it with them and everything. So, but yeah, let's just get into the cards. So staples wise, we're gonna start off with Battlewasp Sting the Poison. He's pretty much a Stratos deck. With him, he can search out any Battlewasp monster when he's normal special, and then he can tribute another insect on the field to target an effect monster in the field and negate its effects. So the sad thing is he can't tribute himself. He has to be a different insect monster on the field. So that's a little bit of a downside, but mostly you're going to be using for that search effect, I feel, because of the fact of, well, like that's where the meat of his effect is, and that's where where he starts off the combos and everything. You can search out pretty much anything in the deck, so that's nice. So run 3 of this. Always you're going to be running 3 of this at all times. Then the second card going into is going to be the Battlewasp Arbalest the Rapid Fire. With him, he's kind of the revival card of the deck. With him, he can, like, when he's normal summon, he can target level 3 or lower Battlewasp in your graveyard, special summon it. And he also has another effect, pretty much when he's destroyed by an opponent's card, he can special a Battlewasp from your hand or deck. So that's actually really nice. The fact that you can, like, if he dies, if he just brings something out for free, it's nice. It gets you 2-drop more of your deck. But it's also really good because you can key combos really well with the Sting the Poison. If Sting the Poison is in the graveyard, you can normal summon this, target Sting the Poison, special, get a search, and just keep going off with your plays. So that's really good. Then Battlewasp Pin the Bullseye. Pin the Bullseye is kind of like a free monster in a way. So if you control an insect monster in the field, you special this card from your hand. And then also you can do 200 damage to your opponent for every Pin the Bullseye you control. So kind of like interesting effect damage that can trigger off some of your other synchros that also do effect damage, which is nice. But mostly though, you're going to be using for that free body. So he's level 1, so you can go into Link Crib if you want. But mostly you're going to want to get him on the field, just go into synchro plays because of his level and everything. And yeah, just for the most part, for that reason, he's just a free level on the board. And speaking of free levels on the board, we're going to go into Twinbo the Attacker. Twinbo the Attacker is pretty much the same thing, but he doesn't have to require an insect on the field to get out onto the field. Pretty much during your main phase, you can special them, which is nice. And then but you're also restricting to insects, but honestly that doesn't really matter. And he also has a second effect where he's pretty much he can attack 2 times in the battle phase, but I don't think you're going to be doing that effect very often because he's only 1,000 attack. So unless you're doing Twinbo the Attacker OTK, I don't see you using the second effect very effectively. So, but yeah, he's just a free body, which is nice. He's level 3, so just good level to get on the board. So to go into synchro plays, which is nice. So in essence, you could go Twinbo, and then Twinbo on the field, and then pin the Bullseye on the field, get out a tuner, and just go into a quick and easy synchro. which is really good. And then on the last Battlewasp monster as a staple in the deck would have to be Battlewasp Dart the Hunter. He's kind of a pseudo hand trap. With him, you can discard him when your opponent one of your Battlewasp monsters destroy an opponent's monster, and then you pretty much inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that monster that was destroyed. And then also you can also target a Battlewasp on the field, and then you can make it a tuner, which is nice. So kind of a nifty card, like pretty flexible. I like that you can change stuff into tuners, which is nice. It really makes the deck a little bit more flexible. And also the fact that you can just discard it and do some massive effect damage is always really nice if you're going to time and you just read over a quick monster, discard this, doing some more effect damage to boot. So I really like him. He's kind of like a 2-of to me in a way. So I guess ratios on all these, I would say 3 Sting the Poison, 3 Arbalist, 2 to 3 Pin the Bullseye, 3 Twin Bow the Attacker, and then 2 to 3 Dart the Hunter, or maybe 1 to 2 on him. So you can just mess around the ratios on the Battlewasp, Dart the Hunter, and Pin the Bullseye from 2 to 3 or 1 to 2, just whatever you see fit, which is completely fine. Now that's it for the monsters. Pretty much all of the main deck monsters are in this deck are going to be in this deck. Honestly, this is a very small archetype to start, so pretty much all the archetypal monsters just pretty much have a good place in the deck right now. Obviously, if we get more support, maybe some of these monsters will phase out of the deck and everything. So, but obviously, you're gonna run pretty much all the Battlewasp main deck monsters in the deck right now because just not many of them. To be honest with you, there's only 5 of them, so obviously all 5 of them will have a good place in the deck right now. Now on to spells and traps, though. Their first spell that's a staple is going to be Revival Swarm. Revival Swarm is just a Monster Reborn, pretty much, to put it bluntly. And you can also protect your insects by banishing from the graveyard, target an insect you control, and make it immune to battle and card effects, which is nice. So a 3-of, obviously, to help tutor out your stuff from graveyard, to revive some stuff, and just, keep going over the place. And to note, that Monster Reborn effect, pretty much, is not once per turn, so you can use 2 of these from hand if you have 2 Battle Walls from graves, which is nice. The protection effect, though, is hard once per turn, so just something to bear in mind. And the next spell would have to be the Summoning Swarm. Summoning Swarm is kind of like a pseudo soul charge in a way. So pretty much with this, you target level 4 or lower Battlewasps that are in your graveyard. You special them up to the number of monsters your opponent controls, and then you're stuck into insects or insect monsters. Special. You can only special summon insects from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this resolves. But again, that doesn't really affect you because everything you have in the extra deck is pretty much an insect anyway. But this is really nice because, well, if your opponent has 5 monsters, you play this, you target level 4 or lower Battlewasps in your graveyard, yeet them onto the field. Let's say if your opponent has 5 monsters, bring out 5 level 4 or lower Battlewasps, and just go off from there. Now that's a very unrealistic scenario, but it could happen one day. You never know. Someone could actually, do that, which is hilarious, and just go off. So it's a really nice card, really good inclusion in the deck, and just this deck has a lot of cool recursion, which I like, and it adds a lot of good recursion in tandem with the Revival Swarm and also the Ballister, or the level 4 Battlewasp we talked about earlier. And then next, the last spell staple would have to be Insect Limitation. Insect Limitation is pretty much a amazing card for this deck in particular, because you tribute a insect monster on the field, special summon a insect with one level higher than the monster tributed. So as you've noticed, there's a lot of varying levels here. You got a 1 as Pin the Bullseye, you got a 3 and Twin Attacker, you got a 2 and Sting the Poison, and you got Arbalest is level 4, and Dart the Hunter is also a level 1. So you have a lot of varying levels here. So this card actually, fits really nicely in the deck. This deck really can utilize this card effectively, and I feel it's a really good inclusion to the deck, and just, helps tutor stuff out really nicely. So, and then the last Battlewasp spell or trap is going to be their continuous trap. That's a staple, and it's going to be Battlewasp Nest. This, you can argue it could be a tech as well. It's kind of like a 1 or 2 of, to be honest with me. But with this, you can pretty much negate attacks, and then you can special a Battlewasp from your hand or deck, once you negate that attack, and then you put a counter on it, and then once this thing has 2 counters on it, you then just send it to the graveyard. So pretty much with this, you can like protect yourself and then just toot out more of your deck. So really not that bad. The only downside is a continuous trap. If this is a continuous spell, it would obviously be way better. But the fact that it's a continuous trap kind of like it makes it kind of like a 1 of or 2 of, not really a 3 of. So just play around the ratios as you wish, I feel, with this card, and you should be fine. I feel like though it's a good 2 of for the deck, to be honest. And then just in conclusion of the spell traps, I would say 3 Revival Swarm would be the ratio for you, 2 to 3 Summoning Swarm depending on your preference, 3 Instant Limitation because 2 goes out most of your deck just because of the varying levels, and then Battlewasp Nest would be a 1 or 2 of, just personal preference obviously on which you would want to put it at in your decks. So but yeah, that's it for staples. Now we're going to text. First off of the text would be GOKIPOLE. GOKIPOLE is that one little weird insect we got in Soul Fusion, which pretty much with him you can set, like when he's sent from the graveyard or sent to the graveyard, I think you can pretty much add a little 4-lore insect, and if it was a normal monster, you can special it. So if you had also like a normal insect monster in your deck, you can add it and then get a quick special. So like with this, so it's kind of interesting. It does do some more searching for the deck, which is nice. So I feel it's a good inclusion in the deck as well if you want to run it. Another cool inclusion would have to be the DOZER. DOZER is kind of like that mini pseudo boss monster for any insect deck. Pretty much, it's like just quickly easy to summon. You just banish 2 insects to summon it, and he's a 2800 beater. So honestly, not that bad. I feel it's a good inclusion in the deck just because it gives the deck a better like power play main deck wise. And another one would have to be Aztecope, the Worm Warrior. Same thing as DOZER. It works kind of the same way as that. It's just a level 4, and it requires you to banish 1 insect instead of 2 to summon. And then another one would have to be Super Armored Robot Arm Black Iron Sea. Long name, but it's just like same thing. Like you can see the theme here. What I'm trying to get at, like just a boss monster, pseudo boss monster, if you want to run them. Kind of way in the main deck, just to have like a big beast stick in main deck, just because most of the main deck monsters that you have are very, very small attack and pretty much will get run over most of the time if they're on the field. So yeah, and they also like the cool thing with DOZER and the Aztecope as well. They work well with the level 12 synchro that we got for this deck that pretty much brings back level 11 or lower banished insects that are banished. So pretty much when it dies. So it kind of like synergizes well with that as well. So which is kind of cool. So, but yeah, that's it for text. I guess lastly, before I go away from the text, there is Super Cocoon of Evolution and also the new Insect Queen, I guess. But the reason why I don't have it listed in this in the tech option because well you're required to have an equip a card or like an insect equipped to another insect or have an insect equipped to use it. So that's why I don't really feel like it's necessary in this deck because there's not really a lot of equip shenanigans going on, and I just feel like it'd just be like muddy up the strategy a bit. So that's why I don't have it. Cocoon Evolution, the new Cocoon Evolution in this deck. So. But yeah, so now on to engines. There's not really any good engines for this deck in particular. I have looked around and some people have said WINDWITCHes, but I feel like the WINDWITCH engine would just be kind of, I guess, conflicting. Because yes, you're making an unkillable Quistowing, but they're not insects, they're spellcasters, so if you use any Battlewasps before this engine is pretty much dead. So you could, if you wanted to run WINDWITCHes, be my guest if you wanted to run it. But to me, I don't feel like it's the really best engine, and I don't really think there's any good engines right now to really put this with this deck, so... But if you want it, you can also put maybe, I guess, an Insector engine in this deck, because just if you want to use Super Cocoon of Evolution, if you really wanted to do that. So now that we're done with engines, we're going to go on to some notable extra tech options for you guys. So the first one would have to be Battlewasp Hama the Conquering Bow. Hama the Conquering Bow is just their main level 8 synchro. It's the best one. So pretty much with him, he's kind of cool. So when he has another synchro monster uses material of a synchro summon, you can pretty much he can attack twice in a turn, and then if he inflicts battle damage to the opponent, you can make all monsters they control lose 1,000 attack. Also, it's another cool effect where it's like if your opponent did not take any battle damage this phase, you can inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each Battlewasp in your graveyard. So Really cool, like a really cool effect. Really good boss monster, I guess, if you want to call it a boss monster for there. But it's their best synchro, I feel, to be honest. It's a level 8, and it's just so much for the deck, I feel. I think it's the best one that we have. But overall, great card. You want to run at least 2 of these in the extra deck. Another one you want to run like 1 or 2 of would be the Ballista of the Armageddon. Ballista of the Armageddon is pretty much the big boy of the deck. With him, you can do piercing damage, which is kind of alright. But the cool thing, about him is the fact of, if you destroy an opponent's card, you can special summon 3 level 11 or lower insects that are banished from your banish zone to your field. So it's really good. It's kind of sucks though if it gets kaiju'd or return the hand or anything like that. If it's something non-destruction removal, this thing is kind of dead. Like, you can't really utilize that effect very effectively. But he's completely good. But and also his first effect is also you can banish insects from your graveyard to make your opponent's monsters lose attack. I don't know what the attack value that they lose up to the number. That's my bad. But I know he can have that he has that effect where he can banish insects to make your opponent's monster lose attack, to make them easy to run over, which is nice. And then next one would have to be Battlewasp, Halberd the Charge. These next 2 will have to be 3 of, just because of the fact that you can easily synchro climb them. With Halberd the Charge, he's nice. Quick effect when he attacks opponent's monster that has a higher attack. He can have their attack, which is nice. And then when he inflicts battle damage to the opponent, he can inflict 200 damage to the opponent for each Battlewasp you control, which is nice. Use some more effect damage and just, whittle down your opponent's life points even more. And then the last one would be Battlewasp Azusa the Ghost Bow. Azusa the Ghost Bow is nice because if a Battlewasp monster inflicts effect damage to your opponent, you can then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack that the effect activated. So if Halberd obviously did that effect damage, he'd be taking the Halberd's original attack, so doing more effect damage to boot. So, and then also if one of Battlewasp monsters destroys an opponent's monster of battle, you can bring back Azusa from your graveyard, but it's banished when it leaves the field. So really nice card, just because you can just do way more damage when your Battlewasps inflict effect damage, which is nice. So for the synchros, it's kind of like, this extra deck's really tight, so you're going to be including these synchros very heavily in your deck. So Hama is going to be like a 2 of, Ballista is a 1 or 2 of, 1 of or 2 of, depending on your preference. Halberd and Azusa, though, are kind of like the 2 to 3 ofs, because of the fact of you want to synchro climb with them and to get into your higher synchros. So especially go into Hama because of the fact of its first effect where you can attack twice. So you're going to be kind of running a lot of these synchros in your deck, in your extra deck. They're going to be taking out most of your extra deck. So the extra deck is pretty tight, I will say right away. And then on to 2 other stuff, I guess link-wise, would have to be Great Fly. Great Fly is just the generic wind link, but also it's an insect, so works well if you're under that restriction. And then the Ejector link as well also works really nice with the deck because you can recycle your insects and then draw a card. So yeah, that's it for the deck. Also, before I go, here is a deck list for you guys. This ain't a refined list by any means. This is just a quick beginner's list for you guys if you guys are just starting out. Here, you guys can look at this, take a picture of it, and just put it down in Yugioh Pro or Dueling Book and just start testing. Pretty much with this, it's not really a refined list. It's pretty much just a list to start you guys out that you guys can improve upon over time once you get more accustomed to the deck. So, but yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoy this. I really like Battlewasps. I think they're a really nice new deck, and I will definitely be playing them a little bit just to play around with them. I think they're a really nice deck, and glad to see insects get some love here in 2019. So, but yeah, that's it for the deck guide. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. What do you guys think of Battlewasps? Leave down in the comment section below what you guys think of them. Do you guys think it's what do you guys think of running in the deck? Is there any texts or staples I missed? Leave that down in the comment section below as well. But yeah, hope you guys all enjoy the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.